What is the ultimate betrayal in football? Is it lifting a trophy in front of the fans who once adored you, but now boo your every touch? Is it a captain, the heartbeat of his club, secretly meeting with rivals before a massive semi-final? Or is it a hero, once worshipped as the face of a city, returning in the enemy's colors, only to be greeted with coins, bottles, and even a pig's head? Football isn't just about goals and glory, it's about loyalty, trust, and the pain when that trust is broken. Tonight, we revisit the transfers that sparked riots, divided cities, and turned heroes into villains overnight. Robin van Persie was Arsenal's captain, their savior, their top scorer. After years of losing legends, Henry, Vieira, Fabregas, fans begged him to be the one who would finally lead them back to glory. In the 2011-12 season, Van Persie was unstoppable. 30 Premier League goals, PFA Player of the Year, the kind of form that made him one of the best strikers in the world. But Arsenal weren't matching his ambition. The club was stuck in a cycle of selling stars and falling short of titles. Van Persie released an infamous statement: "We disagree in the way Arsenal should move forward." It was the beginning of the end. In August 2012, the unthinkable happened. Manchester United, Arsenal's fiercest rivals of the era, swooped in. Sir Alex Ferguson personally convinced Van Persie to join, and for just £24 million, Arsenal's talisman wore red. But not Arsenal red. The reaction? Pure outrage. Arsenal fans burned his shirts, called him a traitor, and felt betrayed on a personal level. And the pain only grew deeper. In his very first season at United, Van Persie fired them to the Premier League title, scoring 26 goals and lifting the trophy that Arsenal fans believed should have been theirs. It wasn't just a transfer, it was a dagger to the heart. And as Arsenal's wounds were still fresh, Germany would soon feel the same pain from their own golden boy. Mario Götze was Borussia Dortmund's jewel, a product of their academy, the face of Jurgen Klopp's revolution. Together with Lewandowski, Royce, and Hummels, he had dragged Dortmund back to the top, winning the Bundesliga in 2011 and the double in 2012. Fans called him Unser Junge, our boy. But in April 2013, just as Dortmund prepared for the biggest match of their modern history, a Champions League semi-final against Real Madrid, a bombshell dropped. Bayern Munich had triggered Götze's release clause. Their captain-in-waiting was leaving to join their biggest enemy. The timing was brutal. The announcement came the night before Dortmund's semi-final clash, overshadowing everything. Klopp begged fans not to boo him, but the betrayal was too raw. Dortmund still reached the Champions League final, where, cruelly, they faced Bayern. Götze sat injured in the stands, wearing Bayern colors. The image was unforgettable. Dortmund lost the final 2-1, and their golden boy joined the very team that broke their hearts. To this day, for Dortmund fans, Götze's name doesn't just mean talent, it means betrayal. And while Dortmund lost their jewel, Arsenal were about to lose one of their invincibles in the most bitter way possible. Ashley Cole was Arsenal through and through. A product of the academy, part of the legendary Invincibles squad that went unbeaten in 2004 and regarded as the best left-back in the world. But behind the scenes, cracks were forming. Arsenal offered Cole a new contract worth £55,000 a week. But then Chelsea, backed by Roman Abramovich's millions, came calling. Cole was allegedly furious at Arsenal's offer, believing it was an insult to his value. Soon after, the infamous tapping-up scandal exploded. Cole was caught secretly meeting Chelsea officials in a London hotel. The fallout was enormous. Cole was fined, Chelsea were fined, and Arsenal fans turned on their star. By 2006, the move was official. Ashley Cole crossed London to Stamford Bridge. Arsenal fans branded him Cashley Cole, accusing him of chasing money over loyalty. But here's the twist. At Chelsea, Cole became a legend. He won multiple Premier League titles, domestic cups, and the Champions League in 2012. For Arsenal fans, the betrayal stung twice as hard. Not only did he leave, he proved them wrong. But if Cole's betrayal was bitter, what followed in North London was perhaps even worse. The captain of Tottenham Hotspur walking into Arsenal red. For Tottenham fans, this one still hurts like no other. Sol Campbell wasn't just their captain, he was their symbol, the local boy who rose through their academy. Spurs fans believed he'd lead them into a new era. But Campbell wanted more. He wanted titles, Champions League football, and Spurs simply couldn't match those ambitions at the time. When his contract expired in 2001, Campbell promised fans he wouldn't leave the club. He reassured them, and then shattered their trust. Because when he finally announced his new club, it wasn't abroad. It wasn't just another Premier League side. It was Arsenal. The shock was seismic. Spurs fans couldn't believe it. Their captain, their leader, had walked across North London to their greatest enemy. Campbell was immediately branded Judas, booed and jeered every time he returned to White Hart Lane. For Arsenal, though, it was a masterstroke. Campbell became the rock of their defense, winning 2 Premier League titles and even being part of the Invincibles. He also scored in a Champions League final. For Spurs, it was the ultimate betrayal. For Arsenal, it was the ultimate steal. And if crossing North London was shocking, crossing Manchester was even louder, especially when one billboard rubbed salt in the wound. Carlos Tevez was adored at Manchester United. His energy, his goals, his fearless style, he was a cult hero at Old Trafford, part of the deadly trio with Rooney and Ronaldo that fired United to league titles and a Champions League. But in 2009, things soured. United hesitated on making his loan permanent, and Tevez felt undervalued. Across town, Manchester City, fueled by new billionaire owners, saw their chance. They offered Tevez huge wages, and more importantly, a central role in their revolution. When Tevez signed, City launched one of the most infamous billboards in football history. A giant picture of Tevez in blue with the words, "Welcome to Manchester." It was a direct taunt at United, and it worked. United fans were furious. They chanted, they jeered, they branded him a snake. The rivalry between United and City, already heated, reached boiling point. And to make it worse, Tevez delivered. He became a key figure in City's rise, lifting the FA Cup and then the Premier League title in 2012, their first in 44 years. Tevez's move wasn't just a transfer, it was a declaration of war between 2 clubs in the same city. But if Tevez's move split Manchester, what happened in Spain in 2000 split the entire footballing world. The betrayal that became the ultimate symbol of hatred, Luis Figo to Real Madrid. Barcelona fans loved Luis Figo. He was their captain, their leader, their star. For 5 years, he dazzled the Camp Nou with his dribbling, his flair, his class. He wasn't just a player, he was the face of Barcelona. So when Florentino Perez ran for president of Real Madrid in 2000, he made an outrageous promise. "Elect me, and I will bring Figo from Barcelona." Nobody believed it. It sounded like madness. Figo was Barcelona's symbol, and no player had crossed that divide in decades. But Perez kept his word. He triggered Figo's release clause. paying 60 million euros. Then a world record. Figo walked out of Barcelona's arms and into Madrid's white shirt. The reaction was volcanic. Barcelona fans felt betrayed like never before. When Figo returned to the Camp Nou in a Madrid shirt, the atmosphere was pure venom. Bottles, lighters, even a pig's head were thrown at him. Every corner he took was drowned in hatred. But on the pitch, Real Madrid got what they wanted. Figo won 2 La Liga titles, a Champions League, and became the poster boy of the first Galactico era. For Barca fans, though, it was unforgivable. To this day, Figo's name is synonymous with betrayal. Football isn't just about goals and trophies. It's about loyalty, identity, and emotion. And when those bonds are broken, the wounds last forever. From Van Persie to Figo, these transfers weren't just shocking. They changed rivalries, they fueled hatred, and they proved that in football, sometimes loyalty has a price. So, which of these betrayals do you think was the most unforgivable? And did we miss any that still hurt to this day? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that shaped football history.